more than any American, Thurgood Marshall did the most to take the promise of the American experiment and bring it into reality. I mean, when I think about, again, going back to the Mount Rushmore idea, right? So what's Black Mount Rushmore? And your picks may vary, but if you say it's Harriet Tubman, it's Martin Luther King, it's Malcolm X, all three of them unbelievable, great Americans. All of them lawbreakers. Now, they all broke unjust laws in search of justice. But the importance of Thurgood Marshall is that he's a lawmaker. Because the next level, the level I feel that we have to go to, is to not just fight the power, but be the power.
He was not afraid to be around people that didn't look like him. And at the same time, he wasn't afraid to fight them. His dad told him, if anybody ever calls you nigga, then you fight them. That's a real story. He was known as the Joe Louis of the courtroom. So he was willing to walk into a courtroom in the South where he knew he was going to lose and stand there as if he won so he could go to a higher level and then a higher level and a higher level and ultimately win in the Supreme Court. And he was 29 out of 32. So what is that confidence? And so to me, that swagger is exactly what it took to do what he did.
The wrong decision, was it entering into the relationship or was it the lie about the relationship?
From what I was playing?
Yeah.
It was the guilt of the actual act.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
So it was like you find yourself in that situation and the guilt is so overwhelming and it's so terrifying. And if, God forbid, he finds out, I could die.
I didn't think when I watched and read the movie that the idea of spousal abuse could possibly overshadow some of the other larger themes of the film, but what it helped for me to illuminate was just the accessibility and readiness to execute white privilege, right? Like recognizing that if all else fails, I can still pull this card out and maybe this is my get out of jail free card.
There's a powerful theme here, and I'm sure Reggie was part of this thinking, which was that there is a long-standing history of Black-Jewish alliance in both the participation and the solidarity of the civil rights movement. And also the Holocaust is in the background. It's all over this film.
A lot of people, when they see the film, they're like, right, that was all happening at the same time. They don't do the math that here we are on the verge of World War II, which is a war over white supremacy. So we're fighting that. At the same time, we are hypocritically practicing it at home.
In terms of that alliance, this is something that you're absolutely right. It's not only an alliance that happened in 1941, it's an alliance that's happening in 2017. And it's an important alliance. Nobody is spared from hatred. They're not picking favorites in Charlottesville, They're looking at everybody who's different and not pure white. And that is, at the core, something that I don't think any of us could have foreseen when we made this film, because we made this movie over a year ago. Things were very different. Hate is out in the open again in a really dark way. And to me, having a movie like this that isn't pedantic, that isn't medicine, that I hope gives you hope, that gives you a sense of, damn it, I'm an individual, but I can make a difference, that's empowering.
The ability to play the role of Switzerland no longer really exists. Like, you kind of have to take a stance. And when you're faced with, and this time with this presidency, that has sort of given voice to hatred and co-signed it and sort of normalized it as if it was okay. You can't just be a citizen and not have a point of view. You tend to think that the forward momentum of society is forward, but we go like a loop You know, sometimes we go forward and sometimes we go back. And right now, we going back. But hopefully through art, the power of a story well told cannot be underestimated. That'll help us push forward once again.